Welcome to the Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes the Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes the Scoop. And please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. This is an AU Scoop. I have got my partner, Assistant GM of Recruiting, Kenyatta Watson, in the building, reporting live from South Florida. Looks like he's
Mm,
handling a little bit of Auburn business. How your trip been so far, my brother?
Been great, dog. It's been a pleasure to come to one of the, if not the most dynamic state for athletes in the world, South Florida, baby.
Okay. And you might be a little biased. Tell the people where you're originally from.
I'm from down here. I'm from the crib, as they
Okay.
say.
Okay. So when it comes to Auburn, let's talk about how important is South Florida to recruit in Auburn.
Well, first, if you go back and look at the history of Auburn football, some of the glory days that has taken place, South Florida has been a real intricate state for a lot of really good players and wins, a lot of big wins over the time at Auburn. You go back to the Dillard pipeline some years ago. Some of those guys are, Junior Rose Green.
Yeah.
Some of those guys from South Florida that have played down here, played at Auburn. Excuse me. It's just been a really positive and fruitful relationship.
What makes football so important down in South Florida?
It's a way of life. We grow up as jits, as they say,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, and it's just all day murder ball, football on the street.
right.
Throw them up, bust them up,
Yeah,
and you just develop skills of not being touched. And
yeah,
so it's just a way of life, though. Really, it's just a way of life.
did it. So what's it like having so much influence in Atlanta and South Florida? Do you ever see any comparison or similarities between the two places?
Um, I mean, I don't know if I can answer that. I don't want to get in trouble, but they're both really good football states. They both have their pros. They're both, like I said, really good, really, really good. When I was at Grayson High School, I had Deerfield Beach High School was my high school that I went to. We had them. They came up and played us, and it went, very much in Grayson's favor. Miami
Okay.
Central came up, played Grayson, went in Grayson's favor.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a different brand of ball. Georgia, I would say, better up front. They have
Okay.
better O line and D line. And South Florida definitely known for the spear.
Man, and when you think about having all of that together, the Georgia boys, the Florida boys, Auburn is in a really good place to be able to recruit both. Now, speaking of Auburn recruiting, right now it's a time of transition,
Mhm,
and so with you being on the road right now,
mhm.
what are you saying to kids and parents or whoever you're talking to or coaches? What are you saying to people about what's going on at Auburn and why they should still come to Auburn?
Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna always be honest with them because I am a parent. I have an older son that went through it. I have a younger son that's going through it right now. And at the end of the day, it's still the SEC.
Mhm.
Auburn is still a tradition, has a tradition of winning. And you just want to just tell people it's about opportunity. You look and see what we're doing on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, man. We're very young still, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of opportunity to come in and play. Specifically on the defensive side of the ball, you see these young guys get developed. You see guys like, Malik Blockton last year was freshman All-American, Caleb Harris. You've had both corners, Kay Lee and Jay Crawford as freshman All-American. Keldrick Faulk was a freshman All-American. I think like
Mhm.
Auburn's like 3 or 4 years in a row having freshman All-American offensive side of the ball. You had Cam Coleman, obviously. Then, Eric Singleton was a freshman All-American. And it's just, you see there's a trend that's going on. Young guys are being developed. So just come on and play. Don't worry about who the coach is. Because at the end of the day, like I tell any kid, any parent, you don't choose the school for the coach. A lot of people say, well, that's kind of difficult when that's who's recruiting you. Well, if you're choosing a school because of an individual, then you're going about the whole recruiting process the wrong way.
Wow. All right. So right now, DJ Durkin is the interim leader.
Mhm.
What's it like? What's the energy been like around the building? And what do you think contributed to the offensive explosion that happened last week?
First of all, I love DJ. He's a great dude. Known him a long time. He's authentic. He's as real as it gets. His energy is real. It's raw. He's gonna get it out of you now.
Mhm.
But he's also gonna love you up. the same. So it was an easy transition. It wasn't fake. It wasn't forced. You know, he comes in, man, the team meeting, NBA young boys blasting. The energy is piped up. The kids, but it's real. This is just who he's been. With the defensive side of the ball all year, I peek my head in their meetings and they all just they vibing. And so it's kind of was infectious throughout the whole team. I know, probably when the offense of guys walked into the meeting, they were looking a little bit like what we doing?
Right.
But it was real. He's a genuine person, and it was easy, man. It was natural. He came in, he told the kids he wasn't gonna try to change a lot of things, but he just wanted everybody to give it 110% and just work hard. And so you saw that specifically offensively during the Vanderbilt game. I mean, like I said, I told people all along, I was like, watch what our offense looks like this week. And people were like, man, you crazy. 3 days, those guys came out, they had a plan. They executed the plan. The kids played extremely well. And we got close. Close is not good enough, but you know, I'm telling the recruits when I'm on the road, like, look, you saw what it's supposed to be like.
Hmm.
So come on in, man, and come jump on board with us.
When recruits talk about Auburn, what's the thing they say they like the most?
Everybody says the atmosphere.
Okay.
And to me, man, like I said, I've been at Florida State, been at Georgia Tech, been around a lot of big time college football games, seen a lot of big time college football games. I've never seen a fan base like this. I don't care if we're, you know, 12-0 or 0-12, the people at Auburn are showing up. And man, it's like that's rare in today's society, because people are spending their money and it's just like, you know what, oh well, tickets I already bought, I ain't gotta go. People are traveling near and far, coming to support the team, man. And it's the least that the guys can do. And they're doing it. They're coming out, man, they're fighting. I mean, you gotta think about these kids are getting paid now. They're professionals per se. And they could have easily shut it down. Like, man, I got my money, it is what it is, but they're coming out, they're working hard in practice, they're still studying. You would think, man, when you're in the building that we 10-0 right now. We've had some misfortune in a few games, but the way that these kids are preparing, the way that they're attacking the day, it's just, it's not a cliche. They really doing it.
One of the things that you do well or you have done in your career is give guys a glimpse as to what's going on in the NFL and how front offices feel about them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
What is it like? How important is it to give guys good information for them to make decisions? And when they come to you, is it ever hard to be like, "Hey, guy, maybe you shouldn't go," or "Hey, man, this may be the time for you"? Like, how do you go about that process?
Well, first of all, you just try to be honest. And when you're talking to the guys, like at the end of the day, I'm an employee of Auburn's. And I don't want a parent looking at me like, well, he's just saying this because he works at Auburn. No, I'm gonna give you the information. I'm gonna let you talk to the decision makers, the people who are actually sitting in the draft room fighting for you or not fighting for you. I'm gonna let you hear it from them. And then once you hear it from them, man, as a family, you have to make an informed decision whether you leave or whether you stay. We still love you, still be locked in with you, but you just want the kids to make the best decisions for them, not listen to the outside noise for the simple fact, man. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. You only get one shot at it, and so you just try your best to just give them as much information as possible, factual information, and let them make the decision.
How what have you been able to gain in your role now as having a guy or having a kid who's been through it and another one that's going through it now? How has that helped you or impacted what you do in your role?
Well, it made it easier because when I talk to parents, first of all, when I talk to the kids, man, I tell them all the time, football is what you do, it's not who you are. When you're making your decision about choosing a school, think about it like this. What if you got injured on day one? Would you still want to live there? And the second part I tell the
Mm,
parents all the time again is like, when y'all are making this decision, what are the factors? Is it distance, education, like whatever goes into it? It can't just be the kid's decision because kids don't have the discernment to choose, the program for the right thing. A lot of them look at where they paying me to make money, the uniforms dope, you know, it's not about that. They don't look at, well, man, I really don't fit this scheme, but they pay me the most money. But you don't fit the scheme. So if you don't fit the scheme, you're not gonna play. If you don't play, you're unhappy. Then it gets to a point where you're year three or year four, and man, you transfer down to group of five and be like, man, this is what it felt like. Man, I'm as happy as possible. So I just try to, give them, talk to the parents specifically as a parent first and foremost. because a lot of the times they're afraid to ask the tough questions because they think, oh man, this might be a dumb question, it might be bad. I'm like, nah, like, when I'm talking to you, a lot of times I know the questions that they pretty much have wanted to ask because I've gone through it. And that is really what helped me being really successful in recruiting is it's just the parental approach. Like you look at a lot of staffs around the country, I'm not sure there are many people that have had a son that went through it. My oldest son was highly rated, and now my youngest son is coming through. So I've been on both sides. I've been on the side as a parent, and now I'm on the side of, in the building. And so I'm just, I'm gonna be honest. I just be honest with them straight up. Like, it may not be what you want to hear, but it's the right thing. Work. It has worked in several ways, man. It has always come back to work.
How important, on scale of 1 to 10, how important are relationships? We talk about the money, we talk about location, we talk about everything, but how important are relationships, scale of 1 to 10?
10, because at
Yeah,
the end of the day, everybody has money now. Everybody has nice uniforms. Everybody has nice stadiums. Everybody has a shtick. But you better have somebody in that building that you 1000% trust because it's going to get tough.
mhm,
um, Something's gonna happen, and you better have somebody that you can go to that's willing, good, bad, or indifferent, to tell you the absolute truth. Because at the end of the day, like I said, everybody has money now. Like I hear people all the time talk about, oh well, they only getting kids because they got money. Well, everybody has money, so why are we still getting kids?
right.
And so you just gotta, you build a genuine relationship with the parents, man. And like I said, a lot of times, man, I talk to parents on the phone. We don't even talk football. Talk to the kids. We don't even talk football. And it's like, how's your day? Because you get football 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My conversation is typically like, how's your day, man? What'd you do? What'd you do different? I don't want to talk football. I just want to know about you as the kid, you as a person. And man, when the parents, when they do decide to speak us, they're always like, man, you made it. It was genuine. It was real. You treated my son like he was your son, like he was a person. And then when they get on campus, man, it's no different. That, like, you look at it now, you know, my door is always open to recruits. I mean, to our players, and they come in, man, and sit down and just want to chop it up about life. But again, like I explained to them, yeah, you may not be playing right now, you may not be winning right now, but this is a life lesson. Somewhere along the line, again in life, you're going to be able to reach back on this situation and say, well, I went through this before. Maybe I handled it right that time, maybe I didn't. And you learn and you move on from it. To me, and like I tell them, this is a measure of a man is situation comes, you don't handle it right the first time. It comes again, how do you handle it?
Mm.
And that's just my message to the man.
I think that's a really important message, especially when you have a landscape the way it is, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's reaching at you. You got agents in college now. It used to be. I mean, it's a
Hey,
trip.
I'm gonna tell you the truth now. I tell parents, if you listen, I'm not talking to no agent. Because at the end of the day, I need a relationship with you.
Right.
Your son, that's your heart, that's your son. Agents are cool. I'm not knocking them. But at the end of the day, you got to remember the agent works for you. Okay, they do what you tell them that you want to do. It's not the other way around.
Right.
But I want to build. I don't need to build a relationship with the agent. I need to build a relationship with the parents and the kids.
There we
And
go.
at the end of the day, you know, I'm not talking to no agent.
All right. Look, so on Sundays, give me one guy that you may be especially proud of. Don't get in trouble, but one guy that you know really got it out the mud that you're especially proud to see that's playing on Sundays right now.
Why ain't Morris?
Wanye. Okay.
That's literally like that's my fourth son.
Okay.
Well, no, excuse me. Well, yeah. See, you gonna get me in trouble now because I got a bunch of sons that's playing on Sundays, but definitely Wanye.
Okay.
Wanye, him and probably Owen Papo are the two that has the most special place in my heart because, like I said, I met Wanye when he was 10. It was a unique situation. Spent a lot of time with him. And it's been beautiful to see him, progress, win a Super Bowl. Same thing with Owen. I found Owen at an eighth grade basketball game running down the court. I'm up front rimming, and that's my son. I'm like, well, seventh grade, excuse me. I'm like, who is this dude? And he was like, that's Owen. That's the one I was telling you about. I coined him with the name The Freak because, man, I had never seen anything like it. And, both those guys are in the NFL right now, man. They're doing their thing. I'm so proud of them. But, it's a beautiful thing when you can see it in kids from 9, 10, 11 years old. You tell everybody, hey, these kids going to the league, and sure enough, they're there.
Man, it's always dope to see how they progress. I
Oh
got
no
to ask you
doubt.
this,
Okay.
man. Last year, Auburn losing record, top 10 class.
Mhm.
Nobody with the record like that was even close to having a recruiting class like Auburn did.
Right.
You got a lot of credit. Like there was a lot of people in the industry that said, "Hey, Kenyatta really put work in."
Mhm.
How you're not doing it on the field, but you're still selling the vision.
Mhm.
How?
Relationships. Um, you look at Dude's night. I'm gonna use him for example. I'll never forget this June 17th last year, like 12:30 at night. I got a DM and like, coach, man, holla at me. I hit everybody on our staff. And Dude's night just DM me.
Right.
And they were like, okay. And from that day forward, from June 17th all the way to the signing day, I talked to that joker every day. And
Wow.
I had already had a previous relationship with him, but just and it was just you this to me gets my adrenaline going because man, I'm a competitor. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And you're looking at a kid, he was committed to Notre Dame. Shoot, they played in the national championship game. We sitting at home watching. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm gonna get that joker. And
Right.
it wasn't nothing fugazi, it was straight honesty. Everything I told him that was gonna happen has happened. Um, he believed in it, man. But he's just when you come to Auburn, you see it in the SEC, which is the JV to the NFL. You wait your turn, man. You work hard. Everything that you want is right there. Unbelievable fan base. It's truly when people say that if you love Auburn, Auburn will love you back. That is 1,000,000% the case. And it's to me, it's an easy sell, but I like to chase. I like to when people say, "Oh man, y'all aren't winning right now," and y'all just paying all this money to get these kids. I'm like, well, you got the same money I got.
Mm.
Why we getting them and you ain't? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like you gonna have to kill me to beat me, and
Yeah.
then you better make sure I'm all the way dead because I don't care that a kid is committed to a school for a year, 2 years. I'm not gonna stop until that ink is dry on that paper. Again,
Right.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Because I'm a winner. But
Right.
I'm a, I'm gonna win more than I lose.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that's the attitude you want, right?
Right.
Especially somebody in your role. All right, before we get out of here, when everything is all said and done
Yes.
and we sitting back, we watching all the kids, watching our grandkids. How do you want to be remembered for the mark you left in this industry?
I want to be the best. I want people to say, man, he did it the right way. I ain't had to cheat to get no kid. I ain't had to lie to get no kid. He was honest. Like I said, the parental aspect, my biggest advantage is the fact that I'm a parent that has gone through it. I'm a parent that's in it right now. So I'm running this race with these parents. I tell a lot of them, I said, look, my son's in the class of 2027. Your kid is in the class of 2027. You know what I'm saying? The questions that you may have that you don't wanna ask me. Whether you come into Auburn or not, I'm gonna always give free game to the parents because I am a parent. I know what it feels like to have your kid lied to, told this was gonna happen and then it didn't happen. And then I see the mental impact that it has on the young man. I mean, I never want my oldest son went through it. I never want anybody kid to go through that mental aspect because these kids love this game so much and they give so much to it, man. And then when it's taken away from them from whatever reason, there's a lull, man, that they go through. And so anything I can do to help avoid any of that, I'm gonna always help. Like I said, good, bad, or different. Whether you come to Auburn, whether you go to Ohio State, whether you go to Florida State, wherever you go, I want to make sure that parents have always said, well, you know what? Anytime I had a question, Coach Kenyatta, I picked up the phone. I called him, he answered, he gave it to me real. I don't care what I'm doing, I always stop and talk to a parent that has a question about recruiting and making sure that their kids are making the right decision.
No, man, that's amazing, bro. Man, I appreciate your time, man. Good luck, and looking forward to see what you produce on the road,
It's
bro.
all love, baby. War damn eagle.
Love, fool.